Welcome to Meanwhile at the Castle podcast. It is June 23rd, 2017, and this is episode 18. I am Queen Deborah.
I'm Queen Emily.
You can find me on Ravelry and my Etsy shop as Indigo Chicken, and on Instagram as Indigo Chicken Dolls.
And you can find me on Ravelry and Instagram as Salt City Knits. And I just recently changed my Ravelry name. So I used to be E.G. Clausen, and now I'm Salt City Knits in both places.
Yay! And we have a website, meanwhileatthecastle.com, and we have a Ravelry group, Meanwhile at the Castle, so you can
find all of our show notes in both of those.
Yes.
Well, or a link too in both of those
places. Yes, we post our show notes on the website, but there's a link in our Ravelry group to that. So today, let's hear a little bit about an update, Emily, on your life.
Well, things are pretty good, actually. I mean, last week I was feeling last time we podcasted, I was just like, I'm so overwhelmed. But things have really been pretty great the last few weeks. So my father-in-law is doing a lot better, actually. He's just like little imperceptible changes that seem like he's just more stable and things are good there. And then we've been figuring out a lot of details that were kind of unknown in heroic youth stuff. So I just feel like there's kind of a burden lifted, and that's really great.
Good.
How about you?
Good. Let's see, my girls, they finished their ballet performance right after our last podcast, I believe, and it was beautiful.
It was
fantastic.
They
were beautiful, beautiful. And then 2 weeks ago, we had this brilliant idea to get a puppy.
Has it been 2 weeks already?
Well, on Sunday, so in a couple of days. So almost, I don't know, it feels like it's been a long time because I've been up early and taking care of her all day long. So yeah, I knew puppies took a lot of work and a lot of time, but I didn't realize when people say it's like having a baby or a toddler, I'm like, oh, yeah, you think that, but oh my word. Anyways, but she's adorable, so I'll put a couple of pictures of her here.
She is so cute. My kids are in love with her too.
Yes, we're having fun with her. I'm just very tired, that's all.
Yeah.
And we did that for a lot of reasons, but we've vowed to never have a dog or cat, because we have a lot of allergies in our family.
Yeah.
But amazingly, we're doing okay. And
so
your daughter's doing good.
Yeah. My youngest, Abby, is really allergic, but she's been okay.
So we got a golden doodle.
And she's been around a lot of other dogs who people say, call hypoallergenic dogs.
Yeah.
And still had bad reactions. So I don't know if it's because she's a puppy. I'm hoping it will continue that she doesn't have any problems.
We were doing a lot of research and talked to quite a few people that had the same breed to find out their experience as people that have allergies, and so far, so good.
Yeah, so far we're
praying that it will be good. Yes,
because she is so sweet.
She is. She's really cute. All right.
Well, I have another announcement that I wanted to share, or like a piece of information, I guess, piece of news. So a couple of weeks ago, I actually released my first pattern. And I had showed it before, but it's my Scrappy Bias shawl. And it's a very simple design and a very simple pattern. It's free and it's available on Ravelry. But it was so fun because it really did really well.
It did.
And it's been really well received, and it was kind of trending for a while, and
that was really fun to see.
That was really fun. It was quite heady.
Yep.
So it's definitely given me the bug to design more, but it's really fun to see now all the people that are starting to cast them on and make them, and so that's been awesome.
And some that are finished, which I think is fun.
Yeah,
I like that.
Yeah.
So.
And then we had a giveaway.
We did have a giveaway. You'll have to tell about the giveaway.
I will.
You have the information.
So a few episodes back, I showed my finished object that was my Glacier Ice shawl. This was a pattern by Clara Zulumanova. And this is what the pattern looks like. I knit mine in kind of peachy colors with pink and yellow and a little bit of green scattered throughout it. Sorry, there's a fold right there. But Clara has offered to donate a copy of her pattern. And so we wanted to do a giveaway. And so we're going to start a thread in the group on Ravelry for you to share with us what is your favorite shawl you've ever knit? Or if you've never knit a shawl, what is a shawl that you are really interested in knitting? Share that with us and you can enter to win this pattern and that Clara will share with you on Ravelry. So that is awesome. And we're so grateful to Clara. She is just a beautiful designer. So.
And that will close when we podcast again next time. So it's kind of an undetermined date.
We'll give that away on our next episode.
All right.
So that's exciting.
So we did actually have we did some other fun things. We had our very first, Emily and I hosted our very first knit night.
It was really fun.
It was really fun. So if you watch Yarn Cafe, Girls in the Yarn Cafe podcast, they actually talked about it a little bit ago. And so Tristan and Christy came from that podcast, and we had quite a few people that came, and it was really fun to get to meet in person people that we've only met online.
Yes, that was really fun.
We had so much fun and found that we were just really good friends with a lot of these people. Just automatically it just clicked and felt right, because a lot of times it's kind of weird and awkward
and you worry sometimes because you have one kind of interaction online, but then you think, are people going to be the same way when you meet them? But everybody was so fun.
It was
we
so
had a great
enjoyable
time. I know, and it flew by.
I know,
it felt like it was 15 minutes long, and we were there for 3 hours almost?
Yeah,
at least. I
just wish we could do it like every week.
I know. I do too.
Yeah. But we had that it was hosted at Willow Hill Yarn Company, and the owner of that, her name is also Emily, and she is just so sweet. She's so delightful, and she just said, I just love when people come and enjoy spending time here. So that just made her really happy that we had a good time.
It was a great room to be gathered in. It was super fun. So thank you for those of you who participated in that.
I can't wait to do it again.
I know.
All right, Emily, why don't you start with your finished object?
I have two actually. I realized
I have
two finished objects.
And I haven't seen this one at all. So
okay.
I'm excited
I'll
to hear about it.
But I'll just start with this one.
Okay.
So this actually is kind of a half finished object, meaning I only recently refinished. It's a refinished object. I knit this blanket, and I honestly, it wasn't a pattern. It was just cables. I figured out kind of how I was going to use this cable pattern and did it. But I knit it as the first thing I ever knit with cables. I thought, well, if I'm going to do cables, I might as well do cables. So this is a few years ago. Well, since then, there were a few things that really bothered me about it. It just wouldn't lay flat. I couldn't figure out why. It just was this tiny little thing. I mean, it was like tiny little thing. And it was, the cables didn't look very pretty. And then my top edge was super tight. Anyway, the whole point was I was a brand new knitter still. And I didn't really understand how to block it properly.
Oh, okay.
Like I washed it and I laid it out, but I didn't block it. Does that make sense? I didn't stretch it or shape it at all. And my bind off was super tight. So after I knit it, I had just folded it up and stuck it in my grandchildren's, future grandkids spot that I have things. And the other day I came across it again and I thought, this is ridiculous. I put a lot of work and a lot of yarn. I mean, it was, that's a lot right there for this little baby blanket. Into that, I need to go back and fix that. So I still luckily had some scraps. I pulled out the bind off and I just worked a better bind off, and then I blocked it. And it was like,
you just blocked it. And
I just blocked it, but I stretched it. I put wires in it. I really kind of aggressively blocked it, and it still squished back in quite a bit, because when I blocked it, it was probably like that, so that's normal, but it now is a usable size for a baby blanket.
So this is why you block.
This is why you block, because cables want to be tight. It's, I mean, it's basically ribbing because you've got all these purl and then knit sections, and then you've got the twist in the cable. So it's just naturally going to kind of squish up. So you just got to get aggressive with it. But I didn't know that when I was first starting out. So this isn't necessarily a finished object. It's a refinished object.
I love it. It is really pretty, and the yarn is really soft. Do you know what the yarn was?
You know what? I don't, because again, it was something I bought a long time ago. I actually bought it at Camille's, which is now Willow Hill.
Okay.
And it's beautiful. It was really expensive actually at the time. Or at least it seemed to me then, because now I can't remember how much maybe I wouldn't think it was
now
expensive.
When I buy a skein of yarn, but I remember I used to be like, $6 for a skein?
Isn't that pretty?
It is so pretty.
I mean, I didn't create the cable pattern itself. I just figured
you used a cable pattern and existing
and then
a
garter border, and that was it.
That's good.
So anyway, that was fun, and it's like a whole new item, even though
that's why I haven't seen it. I'm like, I would think that I would have seen you working on that.
I know you would, because that's a lot of knitting.
I've shown these several times, but I finished. Yay! I finished the love socks that I made for my daughter. They're just a vanilla sock pattern, but the heel came from a love sock pattern by Devon Clement, and you can see the hearts really well right there. See?
So helpful.
I have pictures on my Ravelry project pages, but if I do this, you see a heart.
Yay! That's so cute.
And they fit my daughter really well, and they're done. So this is pair 7 that's finished for the year, and my goal was to finish 12 for the year. So I'm on track.
You are.
I'm on track, which is good. Good, because with having a puppy, I have not knit for almost 2 weeks.
Oh.
I did once for an hour, but every time I pull it out, she either pees at my feet.
Oh
no! Because I'm like, oh, I'm sitting down not paying attention. Or she wants to grab the yarn, and she got a hold of my shawl one time and ran off with it, and I'm chasing her.
Oh no. Naughty puppy.
Training. We're starting on some training. She was just really little, and I didn't want to get into that.
Well, she was only 6 weeks old when you got her, wasn't she?
She was 6.5 weeks old.
Oh,
she's 8 weeks now, and now that she's, well, we say calm down, but you know, she's not afraid, and she loves us, and we're all happy together. Now we have started doing some training, so she's doing good with that. But it'll take a long time.
We'll have to train her about yarn.
I know, because I had to move all of my works in progress basket. It's now kind of like hidden in a corner because she discovered that a few days ago and started chewing into everything there, and that's not going to work. So
oh, that's
all of you people with pets, you can send me all of your tips and advice, because I have no idea what I'm doing.
Yeah, because of all the allergies, we have not really ever had pets other than our fish.
Yeah, we've had fish and we've had some birds. Birds didn't last long because they were so noisy.
I know. We had birds. Wait, did you have our birds? No. Okay. We gave our birds away finally, but we had birds, and we've had rabbits twice. But yeah, my kids are completely allergic to the rabbits too. It didn't work out.
Yeah, we had your rabbit for one day.
Oh.
One day. And that was as much as we could do.
Yeah. Anyway.
So.
Well.
All right. Let's see.
I finished my mint chip socks. So, yay! They're done.
Is this one pair? Wait, this one's 8.
I think this is 8.
Okay.
But I have lost count.
Okay.
But I just
that's
need
what
to
we
go
said
back.
last time.
I'm pretty sure this is pair number 8 for the year. Anyway, this yarn was the Kimmery's Knit Knacks in mint chip, and then this was a scrap that was sent to me by a good friend of ours, Pat, and for the heels and the toes, and they're just basic socks, and they're great. And I'm not, of course, wearing any socks right now because it's 135 degrees. I'm exaggerating.
It was 105 degrees 2 days ago. I mean, not for a long time. It was 100 for a while, but it got up to 105.
It's cooled off a little bit right now. It's in the high 80s, like right around 90 today.
Yes, that's nice.
But whew, it's been hot. So, but still, I've got socks. So that's exciting.
I like I like knitting all through the summer because I want to have the things done to use in the winter rather than like, it's winter, hurry and make it to use
I really think I'm casting on a worsted weight sweater pretty quick here.
That was my plan.
Here, I'll give you back your sock blockers. I left mine at home, so I had to steal yours. That's all I have that's finished.
All right, that was all of my finished.
Bajillion works. Well, I don't really have a bajillion, but it feels like
we actually together have a finished object.
Oh, we do. Yes.
Because we showed this last time, partially finished, and this is our combined Scrappy by a shawl.
Yay! It's so
our
pretty.
Friendship shawl. Let's see, all the way over.
Okay, here we go.
This makes me think of Neapolitan. I don't know why. Like
it does. It makes you think of ice cream or those like sugar wafer cookies.
Yes.
Mm.
And some of these are our hand dyed yarns, and some are from favorite
this
projects.
one is one that I dyed, and there's several that I think a few of them that you dyed in here.
Yeah.
And there we go.
Here. Anyways,
such fun colors.
Yay! So now we can send this off to our sweet friend.
Yay!
That's going to.
And yeah, we both contributed yarn and we both knit on that.
Now this one was bound off at 198 stitches.
Yes.
And it weighed 178 grams.
Wow.
Just so you know.
So there's like 22 grams in the last 4 rows.
Well, it could be that,
they're big,
or it just depends on some of these yarns
slightly.
that are, some of them are a little bit lighter weight, some of them are a little bit thicker. So it's just going to depend on what yarns you use.
Yep. All right, so let's see what you have in progress.
Hopefully you're not tired of this yet.
Yeah, I hope so too.
So I started a Scrappy by a shawl.
So did I.
We have a problem.
It's an addiction.
It's a problem, people. I don't know. It's a good problem to have, really. So I was so bound and determined to finish another shawl that I had started so that I could, all these other projects, so that I could cast on the worsted weight sweater that I was going to cast on. But instead I cast on another shawl and completely ignored everything else.
Yes, I understand that.
So these are a lot of yarns that I dyed just because I wanted these colors to make the shawl. I love how it's like, oh, the idea is to use scraps that you have. Instead I'm going to dye yarn to make a Scrappy project. But this first one is actually from a mini from a pair of socks that Sweet Lady made for me, LaJoya Girl on Instagram. And this is a mini that she sent to me from that one. And then I dyed all of the more solid colored ones. And this is from Sweet Nesting Fiber, my last precious scrap of that one.
It's a good way to use a precious scrap.
Exactly. And I dyed these.
I love those neons that you did.
These.
They're so fun.
And then I have a little tiny scrap of my fart flowers that was left that I striped in before I got
from Up in Yarns, right?
Yep. Yeah. And then I have this blue one, and then this was a mini that was sent from a friend, and then another one I dyed, and another speckly one I dyed. So I dyed kind of just this range of summery bright ones that I thought made me think of Otter Pops.
Ooh,
so
fun.
I'm calling this my Otter Pop shawl. So
nice.
Anyways, I'm over halfway. Well, with the stitch count, I'm at like 125, I think, on my stitch count. So,
and the goal is to get to about 200.
Yes. So that one's fun, but it's kind of just been stagnant for a while. This was the one that my puppy, her name's Luna, that she drug across the house. So I put it away after that.
Well, I did the same because I was sitting there having a conversation with a friend, and I just looked around and I'm like, I don't have any knitting right here where I'm sitting that I can pick up and work on that's mindless. I had my lace shawl and I'm like, yeah, I can't do that. So I just grabbed needles and scraps and off we go. So I've got a whole bunch of scraps here, and a lot of these are little bits. You know what? I don't even know where some of these came. I am now down, I am pretty much almost
the
out
dregs of
bright scraps because I wanted it to kind of all be in the bright family. I mean, this is a little, you know, more muted right here. which it really isn't muted, but anyway, between doing that first one that I designed, then the one that we've worked on together, and then this much of this one, it's amazing how fast it has gobbled my scraps up.
Yeah.
And now I'm like, I need more scraps.
Do you know this pink one?
That pink one is, yes, it is a Wonderland.
I love this one.
Is that what it's called? Wonderland? Yeah, Fragile Fibers,
yeah.
Wonderland yarns. I don't remember the colorway.
Oh,
I can look it up
that
though.
Pink one.
It's very, I think I have more of this. I can give you.
That one's pretty.
Anyway, but yes, I've got my basket here, but I've used most, I'm getting down to where I just have little tiny bits, but I'm at enough stitches. I'm at 152 stitches on the needles. And so I need bigger scraps now, and I'm just running out.
I should go look through mine before you go.
So I'm going to have to start getting more brightly colored, sherbety, springtime type colors for that.
I guess that means that the scrappy buy a shawl obsession is at a standstill then until you get more.
That's sad.
It might, people may be like, well, we would like to see some other things, though we're having
They'd
fun.
like to maybe see other things besides scrappy fire shawls.
I don't know why. They're so fun. Go and have one. Seriously, people. Okay.
It's fun because unlike I don't know, for me, unlike a scrappy blanket, which I feel like, I don't know, you can wear it and it's going to be visible, you know?
Exactly.
I don't
Because
know.
you can
It's
use all
just
of your
fun.
favorite things and really enjoy every single one of them.
Right.
So here's my goal of
Oh, and you've
knitting
got
that
your
I've dyed.
chili knits color. I just,
Yes.
every time I see that, I'm like, oh, I love
I
that.
love this one. Love
So
it.
pretty.
Love it. So that's my
Beautiful.
yarns for that.
All right, what else do you have going on?
Well, we brought our puppy home, and I realized immediately that she didn't have a blanket.
Oh.
Like, how could I forget? It's because it was summer, but she was little and she was cold for the first few days. She was shaking a lot, so we had her wrapped in towels. So I decided, well, she needs a blanket. I better make her one. So I pulled out all of my really super cheap acrylic, like the cheapest, actually it's not the cheapest, but all of my scraps, because I thought, well, this is going to be a way to use those that I wouldn't know what I was going to do with them otherwise. And I've got this much done on her blanket so far. So I'm just doing the granny stripe blanket. I don't even know how many I chained for the bottom. I actually did the foundation, I don't call it the foundation row, the foundationless.
Chainless foundation, I think, something like that.
Something like that.
I used to speak crochet in a much more
I do not really
eloquently
crochet
than I
very
do
much
now.
at all. So I just did that so it wouldn't be as tight, because I know that I'm always tight on the foundation row. So that's all.
Fun.
But that's also at a standstill. But it's okay because it's 105 degrees and she's not cold anymore. So we're good.
We don't really want to be crocheting blankets.
No.
Okay, so I might as well just keep on the shawl theme because
Keep going,
apparently
keep going.
that's my life right now. I knew I liked shawls. I'm kind of preferred shawls. It's kind of my favorite project, but I've gone a little excessive recently. But I'm going to show this one. I said I was going to have this one done. I was so naive. Silly, silly me.
Did you
What
knit
was I thinking?
3/4 of another shawl?
Well, I have been working on this one every day, but it's going to take forever. So this is my Flowers for Yvonne lace shawl by Romy Hill. And I've showed it several times, but I will continue to do so. It's a gorgeous, very, very lacy lace weight shawl that I am knitting with Anzula Meridian in the emerald colorway. I'm trying to get this so I can show it to you. I have finished all of the body charts and I am now working on the applied lace border. And I have finished the lace thus. It's okay. It's a teensy little ball that's left on that. Anyway, to this point, which is about 1/3 of the way.
So you've still got...
So I've still got quite a ways to go. And it's all crumpled up on the needle, so you can't really tell how much it is. But I've got a long way to go. The chart for this applied lace is 20 stitches, or 20 rows long in the repeat. And there's 52 total chart repeats for the border. So at this point, I'm trying to work 1 or 2 a day because I have really lost my love for the process of this. I am now just trying to get through it. It will be some time before I delve in. Well, let me know what I say that. I say it's going to be some time before I delve into a project like this again. But meanwhile, I can't stop looking at lace weight yarn. So, but I think what I would do with lace weight, I'll be honest, I feel like even though I think this yarn is going to be gorgeous when it's blocked, I really feel like it, in the process, is just not that enjoyable to work with.
Oh, okay.
It's so slippy because it's tencel, alpaca, and nylon. It's so slippy and so kind of crisp and crinkly, kind of like a little bit like a linen yarn would be.
I love the feel of it.
Which I like that, and I think it's going to be beautiful when it's done. But in the meantime, the working of it,
is not
you get no payoff while you're working on it. Zero payoff. You don't get to see it emerge. You don't get to see that, oh, I can't wait to finish this chart and see what the lace looks like. Because it just doesn't look like much. And I constantly feel like, I don't even know if this is going to turn out. Even though I'm sure, when I really think about it, I'm sure it will. And in the meantime, it's kind of hard to work the stitches because they want to just slide everywhere. So you're working with 2 different size needles at this point. The needle you've worked with, the whole body, is a size 4. But then for the applied lace border, you use another needle in a size 3. And so I'm using a Carbon's needle to kind of help control that slippiness. And that's kind of helping, but I'm just not enjoying it.
You're burned out with this one?
Yeah. I think that if I had been working with a wool lace weight, that I've seen other pictures of this shawl in progress, and you can tell what it looks like, and it, anyway. Yeah. I just think I probably would enjoy it.
Yeah, this one looks kind of crinkly.
It just looks like a big blob of green. And I mean, if I hold it up, you can kind of start to see the lace in the camera. You can kind of see it a little bit. But in person, you really can't tell what it looks like. Yeah. You're just not getting it. So
but I do love the feel of it. I think once it's done and blocked, because I keep feeling this and squishing it going, and maybe it's me, my personality type. I love this kind of crisp, not crisp as in
it's not crunchy, but just polished.
Yeah, I really like it. I really like that.
So maybe by the time I finish this whole thing, I will eat my words and say, oh, every minute was worth it and I love it now. But right now, I just want to get through it. I'm ready to just be done with this shawl already. And I'm tangled now. I'm getting around my bag here. Oh, what the heck? I'm really tangled.
Oh, it got caught all the way through the ring.
It's okay, I'll work on it.
Of your bag.
There we go, I got it.
So, I am on the second sock of pair number 8. These are my Lorax socks. I've got the stitch pattern for on our website. And these are for my 10-year-old daughter. And the yarn is here. It is Knitterly Things Vesper Sock yarn. The color is called Sometime in April. It's part of the Rainbow of the Month club that I've joined. So I'm just working on the gusset decreases. And then I'd be like, oh, and then all I have to do is the foot, but I'm looking at the comparison of the top and the foot, and the foot's the majority of the sock. So I guess I still have a little bit to go. But the stitch count is so small, and it's, it goes fast when I have time to work on it. But
they're cute. They are really cute.
Oh, after last time we were talking about how I needed stitch markers. How you needed progress keepers and I needed stitch markers. So we did spend some time after and I made several sets of stitch markers. And these are my favorite because they're just so tiny and dainty that it makes it easier to, I don't know, I feel like it doesn't get in the way. So I made a set of those, and I made quite a few different ones of that kind of style that were fun.
Very cute.
So that's what I'm using on these socks now.
So fun.
And I'm almost down to the cake of yarn instead of the yarn onion. Almost finished that. So then we'll have a normal cake of yarn. That's
awesome.
That's all of that. I did work. Did you have another one?
I
want to see
few more.
Okay. You do have a lot.
I have a lot.
That's
okay.
good.
So this is shawl number 3 that's on my needles right now.
Okay.
Adorable and so fun, Tristan of Dragon Horde Yarn, who is also part of the Girls in the Yarn Cafe podcast, sent us the sweetest gift. And she sent us yarn. And this was the one that I got.
Pretty.
And you know what I did? I hand wrapped this ball. And for some idiotic reason that I don't know, I wrapped the ball band inside the ball. So I don't remember what the colorway is. I'm sorry, Tristan.
Very Merry on Birthday?
Yes, that was it. I knew it was a themed one, but I couldn't remember what it was. Yes, it's Very Merry on Birthday. Well, if she's going to send me yarn, then I've got to knit her shawl pattern.
Yes.
So I am knitting Tristan's Changing Staircases shawl. Let's see if I can show it to you well. It's also a kind of a bias, like a vortex shawl kind of, with these fun little blips out, and there's lace and stockinette sections. It's a really intuitive pattern. It's super fun. And I'm knitting a Harry Potter themed, because Changing Staircases is based on the staircases of Hogwarts, right? So it's a Harry Potter themed pattern. Mm-hmm. So I figured I better put it in my Harry Potter themed bag.
Very good.
And I have a Harry Potter themed progress keeper. I don't know if you can see that, but it's a little lightning bolt. And I've been listening to Goblet of Fire while I knit it.
That sounds perfect.
It's just themey goodness all the way around.
Sounds perfect.
So that is a really fun one. And this pattern, I didn't print it out. I just have it on my phone. And so I apologize, I don't have a finished object or a finished picture of it, but it's a one skein project. So it's perfect for me to be able to use that gorgeous skein of Dragon Horde yarn with my themey goodness kit there.
Well, she sent me one as well, and it is really pretty. I really love the colors of it.
That's awesome.
That was nice of her.
That was so sweet. So that was shawl number 3.
All right. I have worked on a little bit up until...
You're in the middle of a row.
I'm in the middle of a row. Of course I'm in the middle of a row. I'm towards the end of a row. Show another one. Let me see if
Okay, I will show another one.
I don't think I can get... Never mind. I can't get to that.
Okay.
I put it down because I was so frustrated with the lace sections that every time I went to go work on the lace section, I was interrupted with something, so I finally just put it down and said enough. So
that's really...
I was starting the pink section, lace section last time. I finished that. I finished another yellow. I've started the pink. So that's 1, 2, 3. I'm on the 4th out of 7.
So you're almost halfway down with the lace.
Yeah. So I like the colors.
What is it that you're frustrated with?
I was just frustrated that every time I sat down to work on the lace section where I had to focus, something interrupted me. Yeah. And just to do that one row, I didn't get through it because it was like 20 minutes of trying to do the one row. Kept getting interrupted. So I just put it away, said I'll do it when I can get a bigger chunk of uninterrupted time later.
And that's the Good Vibes shawl,
That's
right?
the Good Vibes shawl, yes. Yes.
Okay.
So in the meanwhile, I'll work on this.
Beautiful. Okay. Well, I have 2 more shawls on the needles, but both of them are designs. So I'm not going to show you everything about this one, but I will show you the colors I am using. So I'm trying to go for sherbet colors here.
We can tell because all of the colors that you've been using are like that because they're so cheerful,
so summery and
fun. I know.
Okay,
I love
so we've got, these are all Cascade Heritage Silk, and this one is Tangerine. This one is a blue color that I can't think of the name of right now. It is called Aqua Foam. This one is Citron. Thanks, Deborah. And this one is called Orchid, I believe. Let me double check that. Oh, no, Raspberry. Get in there. forget it. Don't get in there. Okay, so these are the colors I'm going for. And I can't show you, here I can take two.
Okay.
I can't show you the design right now, but those are the colors. It's gonna start here, go to the blue, go to the green, go to the raspberry.
Love it.
And so those are fun and bright.
Yes.
But I can show you one other one that I'm working on because it's hilarious. Where did I
It's
put that?
hilarious.
I think it's funny. I seem to have lost it.
You've lost your shawl.
I've lost,
What's in that
it's right
bag?
here in front of my very eyeballs. Okay, so this is the other one I'm working on. I'm gonna show you this because sometimes you think you're designing something beautiful and then it just turns out creepy.
Creepy? Why is
I
this
think
creepy?
it's creepy. My daughter and her friend were over. They don't think it's creepy, but I think it's creepy because I designed a lace pattern, but it looks like alien faces to me. And so now I just can't not see the alien. Can you see the alien?
Well, now that you say that, but I didn't see an alien face before. Don't show
But
it, because
somebody-
now people are going to be like,
Well, I'm not using that lace pattern. I'm gonna redesign a different lace pattern.
hold it this way.
Okay, so if I hold it this way-
It's not alien faces this way. I think that's pretty.
Okay, but what if I hold it this way?
Just don't ever hold it that way.
This is how you would wear it. Look at the creepy alien face. Look at there, a line of creepy alien faces in your lace shawl.
What if you want a sci-fi themed shawl, Emily?
But I didn't. That's not what I was going for. So I have to change that lace pattern a little bit. But this is, eventually, once I figure that part out, this is going to be a half pie shawl. And I'm knitting it out of Hedgehog Fibers Twisted Sock. And this is the... Nope, I'm not gonna remember it. Hold on. I was thinking I had it in my brain, but I was wrong. Skinny Dip colorway. And this one is called, oh my gosh, this is Heyday. The Heyday colorway. And the balls are kind of falling apart.
Did you just get those colors?
No, I actually got them when we were in Nebraska. I kind of mentioned it before.
Oh yeah, that's
Sorry,
why I
that
remember
ball
that.
is kind of wonky. Here, we'll show this side. It's much better.
Now it's really falling apart.
I know, it really is. So these two are going to be that shawl design. And this yarn is really fun because I've actually only had one other Hedgehog Fibers yarn before, and it was a different base. This Twisted Sock is a BFL nylon base. So it's got a, what's the word I'm looking for? A slightly woollier feel, but not like scratchy woolly. Just, it's a really nice feel to it. Anyway, but math hurts my head. I'll just say that. With the designing that I've been doing, holy cow, there's a lot of math involved. And because I'm new enough to all of the designing and all of the math, I feel like I really have to knit as I go. I can't just, I mean, I know that there are so many designers who, they know it so well that they can kind of plug in numbers and have other people knit their samples, but I'm not at that point. So that was number 4 and number 5 shawls on the needles right now.
That's pretty. I like that one, even though you're gonna change it. I
You like my creepy alien face lace?
I do. And with the math, see, this is the math teachers. When people ask you, when am I gonna use this in real life?
Designing knitting patterns or quilting
Or cooking.
or sewing
I mean, like,
or building anything.
yeah. I never got an actual answer ever for my question ever about when am I ever going to be like practically use this, a practical application for it. And
For
now-
example, the other day, I was asking my husband, who is much more of a mathematician than I am, what is the formula to figure out what the total is if you're going to add like 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5? How can, if I know what the end number is there a formula that I can plug that in so I can figure out the total number of all those things added together? And we both looked at each other and we went, I'm sure there is a formula for that, but I don't know what it is. But I'm pretty sure that my son, who is the calculus kid, would know.
You'd know. I know. I needed him the other day when you have to figure out. I know there's a formula for this one. Price difference, where if you're going to be selling something for a lower cost to have a higher higher amount of
Volume.
sales, higher volume of sales versus a higher cost and lower sales, there's a formula to find out
what the tipping point is.
Yes,
right?
exactly. To find out where the sweet spot is, but I don't know that one. So
no, but if you want to know how to figure out seam allowances for quilting, I can figure that out.
absolutely.
Even if it's a triangle.
Good job.
Maybe I could still do that.
Maybe.
I used to be able to do that.
All right.
only
That's
one
all.
more.
I don't have any other
Okay.
works in progress.
So I have my last project, which is another themey wonderland. I mean, beautiful thing.
Oh, you can show them.
Good. So I got this. I got this bag from Deborah, who made this. This was part of her project. This is the last bag, right, in your Project Bag of the Month Club, and it was the one she gave me during the last episode that we recorded that I couldn't show you. But it's so fun. It's one that's got this little grommet, so you can feed the wrist strap through it to close it up.
And I like that because then the yarn can still feed through.
Yes.
While it's on your wrist.
While it's still on your wrist. Oh, I think I have my other wrist bag is just open.
Yep.
Whereas this one, look,
It can still
look
be
at all,
closed and
still
secure.
use it. And she sent me the most adorable, or gave me the most adorable stitch markers with it as well. I have to show them to you. Well, first of all, I got to show you what's inside.
Yes.
So I'm working on a pair of socks because this is Midsummer Night's Dream theme, right? Well, I happen to have a skein of sock yarn that's Baron Vola that was called Lucid Dream. So they had to go together because, hello, it's a dream, right? And I just totally knit these plain vanilla. I didn't even put any contrasting anything in. It was like grab a skein of yarn and go kind of project. So there's the first sock finished. And the second sock I have just cast on and knit a few rows of the ribbing. And so it's only that far along.
That is my favorite part of the sock when you have that much ribbing on. I think it's so cute. That
It is
sometimes
adorable.
I hate to knit more because I just like to look at, I don't know what it is about this little amount of ribbing.
Really?
I love how it looks.
It annoys me.
It annoys you?
Yeah.
I look at it and I'm like, oh, I love that part. I don't know.
But look at this adorable.
weird.
There's a little moon stitch marker. And then it also came with these stars. There's a few of these little star. Sorry, I'm trying to find the right spot.
There's not
stitch
a great
markers.
spot.
And then look at the progress keeper. It's I don't think
It
you
always
can
wants
see
to
it.
focus on our faces.
There's a tiny bottle of fairy dust. It's got a little cork in it with a little label and the cute little bead on it. Oh my word. I'm so in love with this. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. So I have my Midsummer Night's Dream theme and I've got my Harry Potter theme. So I guess I'm going to have to watch Midsummer Night's Dream with Michelle Pfeiffer and Kevin Kline. 'Cause
Years
that is
ago,
the best one.
you sat down with me to help me understand what in the world was going on. It was the first Shakespeare play I had ever watched or, read anything. And we never got all the way through it.
No, because we kept getting interrupted.
I know.
Children.
I
What
know.
the heck?
So I was just thinking about that the other day. I don't think I ever finished that one.
Well, we need to do it. Now that you
We
have
got
that ginormous
mostly
TV.
through it.
Let's do it.
Read it.
Let's do it.
But
Let's do it.
okay, I don't have it anymore.
I own it. Wait. Yeah, I think I do.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm just trying to think if it's a format we can use. But anyway,
Okay.
that is the best Midsummer Night's Dream. And it's set in like turn of the century, like right around 1900 is when they've kind of set that. And it's got just a huge, amazing cast. It's so good. Michelle Pfeiffer and Kevin Kline, Stanley Tucci as Puck, and Callista Flockhart, which I kind of wouldn't have cast, and what's his name? Christian Bale.
I don't remember him.
He's Demetrius.
Okay.
Oh, it's so good. That one is so good. I love it. Anyway.
I just bought a set of Shakespeare books for children. They had at Costco. They had a set of them.
Fun.
That were really for not really early readers, but anyways, they're really fun. We've had fun reading them together
awesome.
with my youngest daughter.
That reminds me, I posted about this on Instagram, but last night, and I should have brought my bag. I made an Anne of Green Gables little project bag, but I didn't bring it to show. But last night I finished reading Anne of Green Gables for the first time with my 9-year-old. She'd never read it before, and of course we had to read the last 3 chapters all in one night, but we cried and we just loved it, and it was so good, and it was just like, it was a magic moment finishing that book, just the 2 of us in her bedroom, all quiet. Everybody else was asleep by that point because we stayed up late. It was just the best. Reading with your kids
we started listening to that on Audible on one of our
Is it the Rachel McAdams one where she is the narrator?
No, it's a different one. We've listened to 2, and I had one that was my favorite, and I can't remember which one it is, but all of my kids were just like, Mom, she is really, really annoying.
Aww.
They were really irritated with her, and I remember when I was little, I was so irritated with her that I thought she was annoying, and when I was reading it again recently, instead what I saw was somebody who just saw the beauty and magic of the world rather than somebody that was annoying. So
I think that my very spunky 9-year-old really identified with her because she's such a talker, and everybody, Anne is such a talker.
Yeah.
And as a child, I really identified with her too, because I was always being told, okay, enough, stop talking, kind of, can't you ever be quiet, kind of a thing. And so I just felt like we were kindred spirits immediately, and so did Abby. She felt that way too. But, anyway. I'm rhapsodizing. Love it.
You should do that when you're listening or reading.
You have to rhapsodize. And it was fun to do the voices. But at the end, when I was reading about Matthew dying and Marilla and her eyesight, and I was crying as I'm reading it, and so then Abby's crying and I'm crying anyway.
She'll never forget that book though.
She won't. She slept with it. It was so sweet.
She needs a bag too, Emily.
Well, I made her a pillowcase.
Okay.
So the fabric that I got and made the bag out of, I made Abby a pillowcase out of it, and so she has been sleeping on it for, I think it's been a week or 2.
That's fun, because we love to read at bedtime, and my daughter and I have been reading about buildings and structures around the world. Another book that I found at Costco, where it gives you a little bit of history of just really amazing buildings or structures, and then paper models that you can make, like punch outs, and then you can make them. But then we started reading about the body last night, like a body book where it tells you about your endocrine system and different things like that, and she thinks that's really fun. But when we read, stories, a lot of times we'll have like a stuffed animal or a character that she likes to cuddle with it, but a pillowcase?
I know.
For all of your stories, if you're going to read, I don't know.
Well, pillowcases are like the most simple thing you can ever make. And so...
And you can never have enough pillowcases.
Right. So. They always need to be washed.
You can have enough stuffed animals and dolls.
Yes, you can. You can have more than enough of those.
Wow. You're feeling it too, huh?
My kids, oh my word, anyway, doesn't matter. Okay.
Okay.
But, yeah, pillowcases. Great way to bring in a fun theme for the book.
Yes, I think that's a really fun idea. I'm going to have to use that. We are going to introduce a new segment. We're not doing our snippets from the past today because we are going to start our cottage crafts segment. So anytime we want to share something that is not knitting or crochet or sewing related kind of thing that we've been doing, I guess sewing could still go in there, it will go in our cottage crafts segment. And so we have one today for you. So I have to reach over here. So for Crowned with Virtue, the organization that I began, each year we have a princess tea party, and at the tea party we make these really pretty floral crowns. It's just one of the fun things that we do each year. So I have made, I think I was adding up last night how many bases for the crowns I have made over the years. And not just for that, but for other things. I have made over 70 of these. This is what we use to make the crowns. So Emily has made some, not the bases, but she has decorated some of the crowns, and I was going to show you some. First, I'm going to show you a couple of pictures of some that our princesses have made. And here are some of the crowns that I've made recently.
I think we should model them.
I think you should put
Okay.
this one on. First we have to show parts of it.
Sorry, look at that.
These are so much fun to make.
Beautiful.
So much fun to make.
And they tie with ribbon there in the back. Ooh, I love this gold right there.
You need sparkles.
Ooh, okay, so
I don't know how tight I made it. I can loosen it.
that's okay. Here, it can just kind of sit on top of my head. I don't know if I like.
Well, the position of it is not correct.
It's because it's stuck to my hair now, so now it's not gonna
Now
come
it's
off.
staying. Wait a minute. It's gotta stay, Emily.
It's gonna stay for right now.
Let
There
me
we
tie
go.
it on your head again, because I didn't. There. Well, that's gonna be good for now.
There we go. What do you think?
One thing I was going to say is that not everybody looks good in hats, but everybody looks good in a crown. As
Except
long as
for
you
maybe
put it
this
on the
one.
right spot of
In
your
my
head. Here's another one that I made.
That's
with
really pretty.
poppies. It's got yellow.
I'm seriously
and
gonna have to
red.
untangle from here for a minute.
It's gonna pull everything out.
Okay, it's not too bad.
Okay.
Whew, I'm okay.
And then I had a friend commission one for a photo shoot that she's doing for her daughter. She wanted a mermaid theme.
That is gorgeous. I like the picture you have of Dad on Father's Day with that.
Yeah, my dad took this and put it on. He has a really big head, so it just kind of barely perched on top of his head. It's also made for a smaller child, but that's okay. This one's just really fun.
That is beautiful.
I actually have a charm I haven't added yet, a little seahorse glittery charm that will dangle from right there.
That's really pretty.
So this one was really fun to make. I have a picture of one that Emily made, and you were wearing it. And that one's really fun. I like the pink. It was really pretty.
Thank you.
So when I'm trying to show the young ladies how to make theirs, I'm always telling them, it's got to be bigger. It's got to be bigger. And you put these little tiny, like, I'll put a couple berries around, you know, because they don't want, not many people wear these around every day. So, so they want it to be small. And I keep saying, make it bigger, make it bigger. And so Emily made one that was bigger.
Yes,
Thank you.
I did.
And
It was
lovely.
poofy.
It was lovely. So these, actually, I'm gonna have some of these in my Etsy shop later when
I hope you do.
Tamara photographs them.
Oh, nice.
So I have a friend that's gonna photograph them. But what we're going to do is have a little short video that I'll add in here that shows you how to make the base for the crowns that you can then embellish however you like, so that you can make your own crowns. Here,
And you just glue everything on, right?
I glue everything on with copious amounts of glue.
See, glue is your friend.
It is.
Do you even glue
Let's
the
see.
ribbon?
This one
This
I glued
one's
the ribbon
stitched.
because of the type of ribbon. It would have
Oh,
frayed
yeah.
too much if I tried to hand stitch it. This one,
But this kind of
sewed it by
satin
hand.
ribbon, it's sewed on here.
let's see, with my hair too. We got to get it in the right way.
Oh, see, that's beautiful.
My hair's kind of crazy. Okay, I haven't tied it. That's
There you go. But think about it, especially I'm thinking for the little girls and for like photos. I feel like I want to wear mine like a
this
headband
is really
more.
a photo prop for sure.
See, I think that
Or
I'm like
for-
more of a headband
That
style
looks pretty
kind of
like
girl.
that. This is also good for, like, depending on the type. Some of these, I know that a lot of people use these for weddings.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Some have done them from prom. They're big right now. Everybody's.
They're so beautiful.
This won't fit my head because it's way too small for my. Well, kind of.
That's really pretty though.
It's fun. These are so much fun to
They
make.
are way fun.
They are really enjoyable to make. So hopefully you make some, and if you do make some, then you should tag me on pictures so I can see.
Yes, that would
you
be
go.
awesome.
Okay, I'm going to teach you how to make this base for a floral crown, like the one that you see right here. To do that, you need some twine wrapped floral wire, and I bought this at a craft store. Let's see, I've bought it at both Michael's and at Joann Fabric, and I believe it's also at Hobby Lobby. And this has enough, I think, to make about 8 bases. So what you're going to want to do is uncoil a good long length of it. And what I do is I measure the circumference of my head and add about 5 inches, which I'm going to measure down about 25 inches on my ruler. And then I'm going to make a little loop here. Now what you can do is you can cut it from this length. You can just measure down with it doubled in half and cut from this length, or work directly from this coiled leftover part so you don't waste any more than you have to do. I'm going to just cut it to make it a little bit easier to show you without having a bigger piece flipping around. I just use some wire cutters. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a small loop. This is what we're trying to create, is this loop right here, and this is where we're going to attach ribbon for closing it later. So I take this and I just twist it twice, and you have to be pretty firm. It's got to be tight. You do not want this to be loose. So I've got it twisted 2 times around. And now I'm going to make our first opening right here. To do that, we have one piece of wire that's coming off of the top and one that's underneath. I want to make sure that these alternate. This piece coming off of the top, I want to switch to being underneath, and the one underneath, I want it to be on top. This helps keep it a little bit more secure when you're twisting. So now I'm going to make a small loop. You do not want this to be very big because you want more surface area for gluing on, and if you make really big openings, you don't have as much surface area to glue. It also uses more wire and it's bulkier. It's just not needed. So I make the shape, and be very careful to get your shape right first, because if you twist it and mess up and untwist it, it's so kinky and it's really hard to work with again. So I've got it in the spot that I want, and I'm going to hold it really tight and twist it around 2 times. So I've got my first loop. I want to make sure that I alternate which wire is on top and which one is on the bottom. This one's coming off of the top and now it's going underneath. And I'm just going to keep twisting, making these little almond shaped openings. Now, when you twist, it makes the opening smaller. So I start with one that's slightly bigger, and when I twist it, it's going to end up being a little smaller. They don't all have to be exact. You end up covering them with a lot of things, but that's okay. I just like to make them as even as I can. I used to worry a lot about graduating the sizes, making it smaller to bigger, to the center front being the biggest and then back to the smallest. But once you start adding things to the front, you just don't even notice. So it wasn't worth the extra effort, I think. The only time it would be is if you're going to leave it mostly bare. I'm just going to keep making more loops and twisting. And you can take your time to do it. I'm doing this kind of quickly here, and they don't all have to be beautiful right now. We'll go and make them look nice again in a minute. Now with the size of openings that I make, I get between 7 and 9, just really depending on the size of the base that I'm wanting. If it's for a child, it's going to be a lot smaller. I'll have fewer openings here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to measure it against one that I've already made, just because I know how it fits on my head. I could hold this up to my head and get an idea of how much I want, but I know I want to make about one more loop. Now it's not exact, if you notice. Actually, it's pretty close. It's pretty close, but it's okay if it's not exact. So one more loop or opening. And now we're going to create this part right here, I'm going to take one of my ends, and if you notice, I actually measured really, really good for the size that I typically end up making. I did a total of 50 inches, so 25 inches, fold it in half, and then cut it at the same length. I don't know if that made sense. So I'm going to take this end, and I'm just going to loop it down. If you can see what I did there, I just looped it down. I'm going to take this other piece and wrap it really tight around a few times. I leave the tail on the top, on the outside, trim it down right there, and trim down the other tail. And then I get my pliers and I really just smash these down so that the wire isn't poking out. You do not want to have the wire jabbing you in the head. And then what I would do, I did not plug in my hot glue gun, but I would actually, where this is fraying quite a bit, I would get a little bit of hot glue in there and glue this down so that it's nice and smooth. So now we kind of have a mess here, but I'm going to go in first, and I like to use these pliers to help me with this if I can't get a hold of these loops very well. And I put it in here and force the openings open a bit. Sometimes I can pull them open, but sometimes the wire is a little too stiff. But I'm just making a pretty shape. And so now the shape of those openings is a lot better, but it's still twisted, so I'm just gonna fuss with this placement, the direction that the wire is, so that it's all smooth and flat on the inside here. And then you kind of bend it in tight and then put it on your head to make sure the shape is good. And then you've got a nice base for your crown. So now you can go to town decorating them and adding lots of flowers and elements to them to make it really pretty. But the number one trick I have for this is use a lot of glue, a lot more than you think, far more than you think. And you don't want things poking through the back of this, because that will poke you in the head and be uncomfortable. So make sure that the back of this is flush, that you don't have anything that's going to jab into your head. That would not be comfortable. All right, have fun.
They're gorgeous.
Thanks. Thanks. All right. We're at the end. It's time to laugh for a minute. Or be serious. We've got to be serious, Emily. Put on your serious pants.
I can't be serious. Put on my serious pants. I'm not wearing pants. No pants revolution. I'm wearing a skirt.
Well, that's why you won't be able to be serious.
See? Bonus.
We need to share with you
Deep Thoughts by Jack Handey. We've mentioned this last podcast. Back in the days when Saturday Night Live used to be funny, there was something called Deep Thoughts by Jack Handey, and he would play show nature scenes and play relaxing music, and then share these deep thoughts, which were all just ridiculousness.
All right, so cue the serious music.
Here we go. Okay. If you ever fall off the Empire State Building, just make sure to go limp, because people will think you're a dummy and they will try to catch you. Because, hey, free dummy.
Okay. Here we go. It takes a big man to cry, but it takes a bigger man to laugh at that man.
How about this? They say God lives inside all of us. Well, if that's true, I hope he likes enchiladas, because that's what he's getting.
Yum. Love enchiladas. It's too hard to be serious. Okay. I have to read it. I don't know. If a child ever asks, why is it raining? A cute thing to tell him is, because God is crying. And if he asks, why he's crying. Another cute thing to say is probably because of something you did.
Okay, now those were all pretty mellow, so here we'll get to a little bit of a crazier one. I'll never forget old man Wilson. Every morning he would go out to his yard and nail on a fresh load of tadpoles to that board. Then he'd spin it around and yell, "Tadpoles, tadpoles, tadpoles is the winner." We laughed and laughed at him, but then we had a lot of growing up to do.
Yep. I don't know if anybody's gonna think that's funny. I think they're hilarious.
It's just dumb.
It's so dumb that it's
Oh
funny.
my gosh.
Okay. No, I think that's good. I think we're good on our
Go
deep
look
thoughts.
up Deep Thoughts by Jack Handy. Some of them are slightly less appropriate than others, but most of them are just funny. And we
Yes.
laughed pretty hard. That was actually really mellow. We kept
I know,
it
right
so
beforehand. It's because we were laughing
serious.
hysteria.
Oh my word. In fact, we had a friend come over, a young friend, Benjamin. He was at our house, and we shared some deep thoughts by him, or by Jack Handy with him. And he is one of those people who laughs silently, so you don't know how hard he's laughing.
Because
Because
he's
when he laughs, he goes like that, and just nothing comes out. Until a minute later, I look over, and he's just got tears pouring down his face. And he's like, "I can't feel my fingers. I have to go lay down."
So we're not the only idiots that find it funny.
There's lots more idiots just like us.
Yay! All right. Well, I think that we're actually on the shorter end of things today, which
For
is
us.
probably good for a lot of you that are like, "Come on, people." So, anyways, anything to end with? I think we're good with our deep thoughts.
Yeah, just make sure to go and enter the giveaway for that pattern for the glacier ice shawl by sharing your favorite shawl you've ever knit or one that you really want to. And we'll give that pattern away next time, and then stay cool.
Yep. Have a great summer.
Yes.
Okay,
See you
see ya.
soon.
Bye.
Bye-bye. This way. There's like this much space on the side of me compared to like that much space on the side.
Have to move.
Okay, because
Unless
we're
you
not.
want me to do this.
I'll move.
Okay. I like to be helpful like that.